Good morning everyone, MMDA back on the road right now. They're back here in Baclaran. Yesterday they had a very bad experience. The team were attacked by the vendors, strangled, punched, pushed, and unfortunately the police didn't arrest anyone, but they were there. Hopefully today they'll use the full force of the law to support the MMDA in their efforts. From what I heard, the vendors became aware of the operation, but you'll see today they're confiscating everything that's in the road, that's on the sidewalk. You might remember in the past the MMDA tried to come up with a plan for the vendors, saying hey, you can use a certain amount of space as long as you leave some sidewalk, as long as you don't obstruct the road. Unfortunately they didn't listen. They continued occupying all of the space. You see right now it looks quite clear because they knew about this operation as of 5 AM and they started clearing all their stuff away to avoid confiscation. If you look at these stores here, they're actually operated by the barangay, by their tonods and such like, even like cell phone store, which is quite amazing. But they are approved for whatever reason, and there's a tiny bit of sidewalk remaining. Of course, once they put their chairs there and once they put all their extra stuff, then there's no more sidewalk. You see over here more confiscation. They're not giving any more chances. They've asked the vendors many times, don't obstruct the sidewalk, don't obstruct the road. If the vendor is with the store, they're allowing them to unload their stuff and take that away, but the structures and the stores themselves will be confiscated on the spot. They're not giving any more chances now. If you're found on the sidewalk, if you're found on the road, that's it, game over. Unless you're in one of those areas that for whatever reason has been approved. Everything's being loaded on the back of the truck and confiscated items won't be returned, they'll all be destroyed. Over here you'll see more stuff loaded on the truck. Some of the vendors are asking to get it back, but they're saying no, game over. They've tried to give as many chances as possible. They've given them certain spaces to do business, but they still expand, block the road, block all of the sidewalk, and this is really the only option they have left now to serve the public. This is why they're here, to serve the public, to act on complaints from the public. One more store here, you'll see the police are here again, although yesterday they didn't make any arrests, which is kind of surprising. You'd think it would be assault on a person in authority. And you'll see the team also working on these stores that have been pushed down the side street. What usually happens is when the MMDA come here, they roll down the side street. When the MMDA leave, they put it out here again. So today they're saying no, this is it, we're going to be confiscating the stores.
Wala akong tinulang ng kernel. Wala akong tinulang. Wala akong nakausap ka po. Sige, doon tayo. Para alala lang kami.
Another store down here that's trying to run away, but they're going to allow them to unload their stuff and then they're going to confiscate the carts and destroy it. Over here more items being confiscated. What they do is sometimes they roll it onto the bank property here, Philippine National Bank. They don't have any permission to put it there, and you'll see they're going to be taking the stuff away. What they'll do is take all the stuff off and then they'll take away the carts and destroy those. It's possible that they could actually confiscate all of these goods, so the vendors are still quite lucky. The police just confiscated a plastic gun also, although it looks quite realistic. This is what the team are dealing with, and the thing is, it's not just plastic guns. People have been shot here before. MMDA have been killed in Baclaran. That's why this is such a serious thing. Sometimes people say, hey, they're just poor vendors trying to earn a simple living. What those people don't know is that a vendor can earn more in one day than the sidewalk clearing team will earn in a week. And these guys are putting their life on the line every day. So that excuse of, oh, they're just trying to earn a simple living, it doesn't add up. And the MMDA tried to give them a legal space to do their business. As you get closer to the LRT, you'll see there's no more sidewalk left. But from what I know, these vendors have actually been approved and pedestrians are expected to walk between all of those stores, which of course won't happen. Everyone just walks in the road. Same over here, these stores are all approved and there's a small sidewalk behind that one that people can use, but again they won't, because who wants to put themselves in a dark alley surrounded by stores? Of course people will just walk in the open road. You see more vendors under the LRT are now trying to roll their stuff away to avoid confiscation, but I think it will be confiscated on the spot. It's doing business in the road. It's only rolling away now that the MMDA are here. You see the other vendor has seen what's happening and he's now running the other way. And I can see some of the vendors also rolling their stuff onto the LRT station. It's not allowed there either. That's for commuters. It's not a storage area for the vendors. They allow them to remove their stuff, the actual products, but the rolling carts and the fence panels, they're all being taken. You see they've also got electrical wires. The MMDA have cut so many jumpers here in the past. And what you'll see on the floor here is a yellow line that's been painted to show where the vendors are actually allowed to stay behind that line. The funny thing is, that's actually sidewalk, so it's quite interesting that they were given that in the first place. But the problem is they keep expanding beyond that. Like here, for example, how many times have the MMDA cleared this, pushed it back, and they just keep expanding. Even when they've been given a space, they just keep expanding and taking more space. So the MMDA are moving in now. They're going to cut down this tarpaulin, they'll confiscate that, and they should empty everything off the racks, I guess, same as they did further down the road. The other interesting thing is all of these DVDs here are pirated and they're just sold in the open. There's no secret, it's, you know, business as usual. You see right now one of the vendors is trying to remove his electrical wires from the center of the road. There you go, the sidewalk clearing team moving in now. They're going to be confiscating it. There's no reason to be running electricity into the center of the road, and it just encourages vendors to go there and do their business, because normally you see them all in the center of the road. In fact, this whole road would be impassable because of vendors. And over here you'll see they're rushing to take down more electrical wires that they've run to the middle. The thing is, you couldn't do this without the barangay seeing it. The barangay know about this. The problem is, according to the barangay, according to the city, this is okay. It's only the MMDA that are working to fix this, and their complaints come in from everywhere. They come in direct, they come in by the presidential hotline. They have to deal with this, but unfortunately they're alone, except for the PMP who's here for security. And one thing I've noticed is some vendors are sending children to go and push into the team, and then they're recording it on their cell phone. I think they're hoping that there will be some kind of reaction from the team, and then they can use it as an excuse. Over here the team are working on removing more carts. Again, they'll empty the stalls, leave all the products, but they'll confiscate the tarpaulins, the rolling carts, the fencing and things like that. There's a lot here obstructing the road. So here's one empty stall they're taking over to the truck now. Of course, one of the reasons why the vendors feel so brave in occupying the sidewalk, occupying the road and fighting with authorities is that they pay millions per week in collections. So they feel like, hey, we're protected anyway because we're paying to be here. But no, MMDA want to fix this problem. I don't know if they can, to be honest, because without the support of the barangay in the city, it's very hard, but at least they're trying. And here goes another stall now. You'll see another stall over here in front of LBC. The amazing thing is that the vendors actually found out about this operation at around 5 AM, but some of them decided to stay here and take their chances anyway, hoping that the MMDA would just say, okay, next time, next time. You'll see over here the vendors are rushing to deconstruct their stalls from the sidewalk, probably extending to the road later in the day also. In fact, not probably, I know for sure. I've gone through here when the MMDA aren't here, and this whole road is blocked by vendors' stores. Over here a bunch more stalls in the road. I'm not sure if these have been approved. I think probably not because it's a road, but let's see what happens. And just on the roundabout here, there's a lot more stalls. I don't think they're approved to be here because the MMDA cleared them from here before. And there you go, the MMDA are working on breaking these down again. Although the truth is, no matter what the MMDA say is allowed or isn't allowed, if you go here in a few hours, once they leave, you'll see both sides of this road fully occupied by stores and only motorcycles can pass through. I've shown that in previous videos, and unfortunately that's the reality, because once the MMDA leave, the vendors will take over, because the barangay, it's okay. The city, it's okay. It's only MMDA that are trying to clear this. If the barangay and the city keep telling vendors it's okay, it's very difficult to make a difference, but you'll see the team are confiscating items. This area is also very common for jumper lines. For those outside the Philippines that don't know what that means, basically it's where you splice into someone else's electricity and then of course you use it without paying. You see Pure Gold has a transformation. Now they've removed all the vendors from the front of it. As far as I know, they've not given permission for the vendors to be there. You might recognize this road by the church. Of course, the vendors on both sides are approved by the city, so the MMDA don't touch them unless they extend into the road, and that's a point where, well, they pretty much just push them back. There's no confiscation in this area usually. And right now these vendors are being cleared from this area. Apparently there was a complaint by the building owner, which doesn't surprise me because none of the customers can actually get inside. The thing is, the vendors are just rolling away. Their carts aren't being confiscated. So of course, once the MMDA leave, they'll fully occupy this space again. It's unfortunate because this building, they've done everything right. They've put up a nice building. they've paid rent, they've got business licenses, everything they've done by the law, and then instead the whole front side gets blocked by vendors and customers don't go there. In fact, saying that, it looks like they've just confiscated one, and they're also unloading this one and confiscating it. So basically any of those that couldn't fit down the side street, they're being confiscated. Let's not even worry about that street for now because it's completely impassable. You don't even know there's a road there, you can't see it anymore.